Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
Ready, champ? I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
the key is the trigger man. You know, that guy's got to be able to understand what's going on and go out and execute.
Yeah.
And you saw that with Chicago and the 49ers. You saw it with Trevor Lawrence yesterday. You saw it with Josh Allen. I mean, there's a ton of dudes, man. If you got the right coach and the right quarterback, you can win a lot of games.
All right, we got the games starting this week. 31st, Wednesday, we got Ohio State and Miami in the Cotton Bowl. And Ohio State is favored, but some people like Miami in that game. What do you think?
I like Ohio State. I think their team is better than Miami. I really like Ohio State's defense. I think the things they do defensively can cause Miami a lot of problems.
On Thursday, we got 3 games. We'll let you go after this. I know you're driving. I want you to be careful out there. Ben Troupe standing by. He'll be right with us. Texas Tech, a team we've all kind of forgotten about. Who are those guys in Lubbock? Number 4, I guess. Number 5, Oregon. Orange Bowl at 12 noon, ESPN. Who you got?
I like the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I think their defense might be one of the best in America. I love their quarterback. Caleb Douglas, the former Gator wide receiver, is their top leading receiver. I like Texas Tech to win that game.
And you got number 1 Indiana against Alabama in the big controversial game. Can Alabama make believers out of their fans?
I'm going to go Alabama in the upset here.
Oh, yeah.
I just Indiana's been a great story the last 2 years. They could come out and blow Alabama out. Who knows? But I just think Alabama's going to have something for them.
I saw a stat today that like half of the stats of the Heisman Trophy winner came against teams that were lowly ranked, not even ranked. I don't know what that means exactly, but Indiana just had a great year. And finally, 2 teams I like a lot, especially Georgia. Georgia versus Ole Miss, 8 o'clock in the Sugar Bowl on Thursday.
Well, I'll be pulling from Ole Miss Rebels, but Georgia just finds ways to win games. Kirby,
they do.
He's clearly the best coach in America. His team just finds ways to get it done. They're tough. I think the physicality they play with will overwhelm Ole Miss at some point. But I'm going to be rooting for Ole Miss.
I know you will. Shane, have a great holiday while you're home. Eat some good food. Enjoy the football. Are we doing a show tomorrow morning?
Yes, sir.
I will be on your program in the morning, ready to go and ready to rock and roll.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
The great Shane Matthews on the highway on I-10, heading to home for the holidays. Always fun. All right, so let's say, first of all, welcome to our buddy Ben Troupe, who joins the program. And then also, let's remember to tell you, Meldon Law, you know about those folks, Ben. Meldon Law, they've done some fantastic things lately, especially the recent giveaway of rings. I've got one someplace. I'm
gonna need one of those. You
got to see the man. I don't have mine yet. I've got one in waiting there, supposedly put away for me. I had to contact the man. You better be contacting the man because he's the only one who can do it. And they look great, don't they?
They do. Meldon Law with the creativity that he brings, that they bring.
Yeah.
Buddy, from what they do in Gainesville to recognizing these star athletes, it's number one. Is he back in the States? I know him and his wife did like a world tour.
Yeah, they did. They're back.
You know, but I will say this: if you are Meldon Law, how they obviously being the law firm, the number one law firm. I mean, the official law firm. I'm sorry for the Florida Gators, but just people talk about what you can do for the community. I guarantee you, Mr. Meldon, what they probably sit in meetings and say, "Look, okay, I know we are lawyers. That is what we do. But that's not all of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what we're known for. And
Yeah.
they do so much. And who would even think to come out with 100? What is it? 100 rings? Yeah, was it
Yeah.
100 of them? That's so creative because that makes it even more exclusive. People like, wait a minute, they gave out 100. Yep, and they gone like that. They got them 100 out real quick. But no, I'm just congratulations to you, buddy, on getting you a ring.
Yeah, I gotta see. I got an issue here. Apparently, nobody's hearing me. I don't know what's going on here. Let me hold on 1 second. Let me see what's going on. Okay. Let's do a check right now. I'm sorry, no one's hearing me. They're trying to get a hold of me. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me know. Okay, say you can hear me now. All right, thank you very much. Sorry about that, folks. I had no way of knowing that. Yeah, that was Shane Matthews. I hope you got all that. All right. Sorry about that. I got to shorten my deal here. And all right, sorry, Ben. Go ahead. I was finishing this commercial on Meldon Law, and I will, Tommy. I will start over and recap a lot of the things we talked about. Ben and I will go over the games again, and apologize for that. We just had a little technical difficulty, and also I wanted to say one of the things that also Jeffrey Meldon did, and you brought up the fact about him being creative. He is that. That he bought 100 books, copies of Franz Beard's book, which of course is the Golden Season, and he gave one to each one of the team members, and they enjoyed it. And he does things like that. He always so. Meldon Law, he's a Gator through and through. Like I say, if you need a law, he does that well. I've used him, and I've been one of his clients. He's done a great job. He's also a Gator, and he loves the Gators, so you can't beat that combination. So Meldon Law, they won't back down. All right, Ben. I guess we had some audio problems with when Shane was on. We went over the picks and some of the NFL games. I'll give you your choice. You want to pick NFL game? You want to pick games first, playoffs, or you want to talk about the NFL this weekend?
We could definitely talk about college football playoff first. I mean, no doubt.
Let's go. All right. I know that Shane likes Ohio State here. Ohio State favored, and they play on Wednesday night, New Year's Eve. At 7:30 ESPN, they'll be playing, and the Ohio State and Miami. And a lot of people say, "Oh, Miami's a sleeper." What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I don't think Miami is a sleeper, but I do got Ohio State. Give a lot of credit to Mario Cristobal. Give a lot of credit to Carson Beck and what he's been able to do. His 1 year there, at Miami. I mean, Miami made Texas A&M. That defense came to play. So for me, while I can appreciate what Miami has done, they're not beating Ohio State. I think because Ohio State has already lost to Indiana, I think they're going to be the team to beat. They don't lack anything. Just the same. You talk about Jeremiah Smith, talk about that defense, how explosive that offense is. I do think Miami is going to make it a good game. I just think Ohio State is the better coach team, the better team, top to bottom. So I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with the Buckeyes.
All right. Buckeyes it is. Now we got 3 games the following day. Number one, the team I don't know much about. Shane just told me that there's a former Gator wide receiver, Douglas, playing for Texas Tech. Texas Tech, I don't have the lines in front of me, but they play number 5 or they're number 4. They play Oregon at noon on Thursday. What do you got?
Texas Tech linebacker Rodriguez might be the best player in the country. He might be the best player in the country. I'm like you, buddy. I haven't seen a lot of Texas Tech football. I got to see some highlights from Rodriguez. I think they're going to kind of be like Ashton Genty and Boise State last year. They also had a first-round bye. I just think Dan Lanning, Dante Moore, and that Oregon team, it's just going to be too much for Texas Tech. Texas Tech, just like I said about Miami, will make a game of it. I think Oregon kind of runs away with it in the second half. Give me the Oregon Ducks to move on, even though Texas Tech is not going to lay down.
Okay. Nice story. We'll see how that all works out. And then I'm going to recap some of Shane's thoughts here in a minute, too. I believe you know how he's going to the line with you on that. Georgia, Ole Miss. Let's go to Alabama. Let's go to Indiana, Alabama.
I heard Shane, too. I heard what Shane said, and I agree. I think Indiana has been a
why don't you recap it with me, because I don't think a lot of people have heard something.
Well, so what Shane was saying, Indiana has been a really, really good story this year, but buddy, it's something you said. A lot of Mendoza's stats didn't come against good competition. And now he plays against who they play against. I know they play Oregon. I know they play Penn State. I know it took them the whole game to beat Penn State. And I know Oregon was the team that nobody thought they would beat with Dan Lanning in them. That being said, people really need to stop being disrespectful to Alabama. Number one, Alabama, right, was down 17-0 to Oklahoma.
First time
and they came back.
Yeah.
And they came back and won. Coach DeBoer, who everybody thought was going to, who everybody thought was going to Michigan, he's not. Coach Whittingham is. I just think that this Indiana team has been a great story. Fernando Mendoza, if you can't get behind a young man like that, you don't love football. But just because you are a great story with the Heisman Trophy winner does not mean you're going to beat Alabama. Mm-hmm. And Coach Signetti's team, they hard-nosed, man. They're going to fight you for 4 quarters. I think Alabama needed that being down 17-0 against Oklahoma, and they finally got that Oklahoma demon off their back. Coach DeBoer has gone 2-0 against Kirby Smart of Georgia in the regular season, and he's went 0-2 against Coach Venables in Oklahoma during the regular season. But it's hard to beat the same team twice in 1 year. That's hard to do. It's even harder when that team was Alabama. So while I love what Coach Signetti is doing with Indiana, I love what Fernando Mendoza has meant to Indiana, to that team, to that community. I think it ends with Alabama. I think that Alabama is a team that has to remind the world, yes, Nick Saban is no longer here. No, we're not the same Alabama we were under Nick Saban, but we are still Alabama. And I think for Coach Signetti, he plays for coaching for something different. Respect every time they come out there. But I feel just like Shane. I think it comes to an end. I'm gonna go with the tie.
Yeah, so I think that's what I think Shane with Ohio State. I believe he went to Texas Tech, didn't he? Do you remember? Were you on then?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did go to Texas Tech.
Yeah. And then he went to Alabama, and then this one, Georgia, Ole Miss, 8:00 ESPN. This game, of course, he loves the Ole Miss Rebels, but he thinks Georgia's a better team. I like Georgia maybe to win it all.
Yeah, Georgia. I will say this. This what makes Georgia dangerous. If you ever want to know how far a Georgia team can go, just look if the quarterback is from Georgia. When they went deep and won it with Stetson Bennett, he's from Georgia.
Yeah.
Gunnar Stockton, he's from Georgia.
I like
young men that grow up, Georgia fans say, I just want to be the starting quarterback for Georgia. And Gunnar Stockton has earned it the hard way now. It's not like this has been an easy road. He got a chance to play last year in the SEC championship game and won it against Texas. And then obviously they lost in the college football playoff semifinal. But I agree with Shane. Shane wants Ole Miss to win because he grew up probably an Ole Miss Rebel. So
Daddy played for him.
Yes. But it's going to be Ole Miss against Georgia. It's going to be just like Ole Miss when they played against Tulane. Ole Miss not beating Georgia. I don't care if Lane Kiffin was on the sideline, not on the sideline, Eli Manning on the sideline, Archie Manning on the sideline. Ole Miss is a good team. They're not better than Georgia. And just because I'm a really, really good team doesn't mean I'm going to be the even better team. I think Georgia is a better team at quarterback, special teams, defense. Now, can Ole Miss make this a shootout with the type of offense they have? Yes, but I think Georgia's ready for everything. Give me Kirby Smart to move on in the college football playoffs.
Yeah. All right. Now, we got some other issues to deal with tonight, and I know we got it in a moment. We have Rob Dotson going to join us here, but We can't get away from it, even though we don't know the answer. I spent quite a bit of time thinking on it, and I've also written on it, and I don't know the answers on it. But it's a perplexing thing about Jaden Baugh. We do not know exactly what's going to take place. And I want to mention that, like I said, it's a full blown NIL tug of war, and you got Texas in there. They probably got the money, and you got Georgia and Ohio State, and the smart read right now they say is he's leaning about leaving Gainesville. I'm not sure I agree with that. I don't know. I don't think anybody else does, but this is the guy we're talking about here who had a 1,170-yard, 8 TD sophomore year. Florida's first 1,000 rusher since 2015. One of the best backs in the SEC. I've been a big fan of his from day one, the moment I saw him. You know that. And the people are saying, well, he's 50-50. He's expected to enter port. We don't know until January 2nd. And so we know there's a lot of bidding for it. But the reality of it is that it's a money deal. It's not orange and blue. It's green. And I don't know which way the wind's blowing on that. I'm not sure what's going to happen. It would certainly be a guess on my part. Florida reportedly has doubled his 2025 NIL number, and they're actively involved in negotiations. They're willing to match others, so on and so forth. But, Ben, you've been in this money game as a pro. How high are you willing to go to keep Jaden Baugh?
Ooh, that's a good question, buddy. I will say this. Coach Summerall, he understood what his priority was, and he knows that Jaden Baugh is a priority. Here's the thing. There is a certain number that you are willing to give, right? And I think you have to go with that number and leave it alone. Here's why. Coach Summerall is saying, I understand the perception of this thing is I got to get Jaden Baugh. I understand that. The reality is money talks. It just does. And for Coach Summerall, he's saying, while I want Jaden Baugh, I cannot make him sign on the dotted line. Now, he's gonna, like you mentioned Ohio State, you mentioned Georgia, you mentioned Texas. Those guys are gonna throw some big numbers out of him because they understand what he's done. He's a proven commodity in the SEC as well as in the country. If Coach Summerall and Gator Good, however they do, Florida Victorious, now whatever they do to come up with the money, you come up with the money. But this goes back to what you originally reported about Lane Kiffin, and you were 100% correct. Now, how much money did he end up getting? What you reported that he got offered at Florida. So the number was the number, but he just chose another school. He just chose LSU, and it's a lot of different things, like talk to Scott Strickland, whatever. We don't know. I don't think Lane Kiffin wanted to be in Florida because of the smoke that comes with it. That's just me. I would down that hill. But with Jaden Baugh, buddy, if me and you are the ones that control how much money he get, you got to have a certain number and leave it alone.
Yeah, you have to have a number.
But because, buddy, you always thinking about two things: the current crop and the future crop. I got to let the future players coming in knowing, well, Jaden Baugh has earned an opportunity to get more money. I'm not giving you more money every year to keep you around. No, I can't do that. I will, and I believe the more you stay, they're gonna up the ante. But Jaden Baugh, one of the best running backs in the country, returning for his junior year. So I think it's a certain number that you try to do. And if you don't want that number, ain't nothing you can do, buddy. Because, like I said, when it comes to this world of NIL, I love it. And is it weird? Yes. Is it confusing? Absolutely. But Deion Sanders said it the best. Deion Sanders said, if you never wanted people bickering over money, you shouldn't have gave another person a bigger check. If people know there are bigger checks out there, they're gonna chase that. And I'm not mad at these players. I'm not mad at Jaden Baugh, DJ Lagway, none of them. Excuse me. But, buddy, I will say this about Coach Summerall, and this is what I get from him. I think what he's doing is saying, look, If I got to beg him to stay, I got to beg him to play. No. I'm good. He's actively involved in NIL. But let me tell you what Coach Summerall is really saying too. Congratulations to Byron Bam Hardman becoming the outside linebackers coach, man. A former teammate of mine when I was at Florida. I remember when Bam was coaching at Troy. And I remember when he went over to Tulane. And that says a lot about Coach Summerall, because a lot of times, buddy, you'll coach at a Coach Summerall at a Tulane, but when it's time to go over to Florida, they'll leave you behind. And they didn't do that. So I was very, I actually got to go speak at Troy when Bam was there. I got a chance to play with Bam for 3 years from Jacksonville. So very, very proud of Bam. Excuse me. But I would say this about Coach Summerall, and I could be wrong. I think what he's saying is, I want Jaden. I'm going to pursue Jaden, and we're going to try to give him his money, but I am not going to beg him. And I think the reason why he's doing it is because he's going, dude, I'm at the University of Florida now. I can get some good backs. And he ain't saying they're going to be Jaden Baugh. Most people won't be. But let me tell you what he's also saying that he can't say out loud. The reason why DJ Lagway was able to walk, and they talked to him, we won 4 games now. You cannot lose. Jaden Baugh was a highlight of the season. He was. But he was a part of
season. He was a season.
Well, buddy, check this out. Jackson Smith-Enigma, who plays for the Seattle Seahawks, right? He's trying to break Calvin Johnson's record of 1,900 and whatever it is, yards, right? Calvin Johnson has the most yards in NFL history. He was also on the 0-16 team. He was on a team that lost you know who the quarterback was? Matthew Stafford. What I am saying is, if I am a new coach and I want to retain as many players that I can, I'm not losing no sleep. I'm saying, okay, because guess what? The same way, we ain't breaking no news here. If Jaden Baugh jumps into the portal, it's gonna be other guys jump in or other guys you can get. And do I want Jaden Baugh back? Absolutely. 100%. But when I was buddy, when I was at Florida, Coach D, the great coach Dwayne Dixon, who coached all the great receivers, Riedel, Ike, Jaquez, Jabbar Gaffney, I was coming off the field one day and I said, Coach, I don't think this is for me. And he looked me in my face and said, if you don't want to be here, we don't need you. Let me tell you something. I love everybody that wears orange and blue, but I am not naive. Money gonna make you make a lot of decisions that you wouldn't make. And Jaden Baugh is what, 19, 20 years old. So if we're 19, 20, and somebody throwing money at us, we gonna consider it.
We're picking it up.
And like I said, buddy, they tried to hire me as a tight ends coach, but I put in my buyout was gonna be $20 million.
I know. I don't blame you. Say hello to Rob, our buddy Rob.
How you doing, Rob? How you doing,
Rob, evening, Ben. Good to talk to you, man.
I want to stop 1 second and say one thing is that I apologize profusely for the fact that we had no audio the first 15 minutes of the show. Now, let me explain something. You would know this, Rob. Shane, when he goes on the road, he can't go on the link. I have to call him on his phone. So in reality, it's like doing 2 shows. I'm doing this Shane interview, but the link and the message boards I can't do because I can't handle them. So the whole time I'm doing the show, we're muted. And I don't know this. And I got blasted. It was, doesn't he look at the comments we made? Yeah, I do, but I got 9 other things to do, not making excuses. But I'm sorry that we went on for a while. Thank you for guys like Tommy Parmenter and Tommy Seal and Tony Parmenter and all those guys. And Norris Anderson is back. He made a few chat, and I deserve it all. Whatever it was, I apologize. It happened. Let's move on from there. Now, this guy, Ben, he's my new best friend. He's my guy. He's my go-to guy. When I get a problem and I'm in trouble, that's the guy I call Panhandle Rob. Rob is my buddy. He and I host a Panhandle show. In fact, we're going to mention it tonight. There's a show that emanates about and in the Panhandle, sponsored the Panhandle Gator Club. And Ben, you may or may not over the years have gone to speak to them. They've had many great speakers over the years. And 2 weeks ago, Rob helped me put on a terrific book signing for Franz and Carlton. And we all came there, had a wonderful time. And the Gator Club, how many books did we sell? 28, wasn't it? Something like
Yes.
that. Something like that. And we appreciate all you did, Rob, and the Gator Club. And we're going to try to continue on with this, even though we were only supposed to make this a seasonal show. We're talking about extending it.
Yeah.
And by the way, also to make up for the fact that I had an issue problem with sound, I'm going to go long tonight. I know the producer hates that, but I'm going to go longer because
that out of all the Gator clubs, I don't know if there's one more important than the Panhandle Gator Club, because we need to make sure that that other team that's on the Panhandle that will go unmentioned, they need to know we coming for y'all too. We everywhere. Y'all know that. So I know y'all on Central Time. I know y'all on Central Time. But the Panhandle Gator Club is one of the most needed Gator clubs, because I don't know if y'all get looks when y'all over there, in the Panhandle, that other team that's over there, and they probably looking at y'all like, yep, we here, and we got podcasts, we got book signings, we coming for y'all. We everywhere.
In their place, man.
Sir,
we do put them in their place.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's one of those things where my best friend is BJ Bennett. He's a one of them fans. He's always talking about God's country. I said, well, if it is God's country, it's because you got Florida Gators over there. It ain't because of them. No, absolutely not.
But we're infested with Alabama fans, Georgia fans, criminals. Let me see what else we got. A few LSU, but it's mainly Alabama, Georgia, and Florida State.
But you know what they do? They allow other people to take part, of other schools to take part in our show. They sponsor it. We have guests on from other schools, what have you. But it's about the Gators. And I want to say Rob does a terrific job, and thank you for all you did. It was a great time. And just mention that sponsor one more time, Rocket Lanes.
Our host sponsor for our podcast is Rocket Lanes. So come get social with Rocket Lanes. Bring your family, enjoy a day of bowling or skating, or geek out in their 16,000 square foot arcade. And while the kids play, adults can enjoy a cold beverage in their upscale sports bar. Now, Rocket Lanes is a host of the Panhandle Gator Club. That's where we go to watch Gator basketball, Gator football, and the other Gator sports. So come watch one of their many TV screens and enjoy a Saturday beer bucket special. So come get social at Rocket Lanes, 513 North Richard Jackson Boulevard, Panama City Beach, and the shops at Edgewater across from Edgewater Beach Resort.
Ben, I got to take you there sometimes. It's huge. We were at the sports bar watching
16,000 square feet.
16,000 square foot arcade, and they have state-of-the-art and retro
bowling, a huge bowling alley, skating, everything else.
You gonna get your kids in there. You be like, is my kids even still here?
I got lost. I went to the bathroom.
Buddy needs a GPS in there.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, it's amazing. So that's great. So Ben, thanks for hanging in there with Rob. I'm gonna go get Franz basketball. Did you guys follow the basketball game tonight? They beat Dartmouth by whatever it was, 25 or 28. Didn't cover
92, 70,
94,
72, I think it was.
Yeah, and I saw the game and watched it. We're gonna get Franz and bring him in here, but I want to congratulate Franz again on the successful book.
Yeah, we got to make sure Franz get to go on his Florida Gator book tour. We got to get that set up.
He's already going. He's already been going. Yeah.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
There he is right there. He's already going. What's up, Francis?
Well, stopping along the way home, and it's another day in paradise, and the Gators won a nothing to prove game against a very outmatched Dartmouth team. This is a team that you're going to see when we hit the SEC schedule, which starts Saturday night. You'll see a different ball club. And I have only one real question about this team, and that is who the eighth man is going to be in the rotation. I'm hoping that he decides to pull the red shirt on A.J. Brown. That's Isaiah's big brother. They're trying to redshirt him because they're top heavy and guys are going to lose next year. AJ is a terrific shooter. I covered him in high school when he was at Orlando Christian Prep. Isaiah is his younger brother. I know his parents would love to have both kids play 2 years together. But I think if you're looking at what we need for the rest of this season, I think A.J. Brown will be like last year. Micah was the missing link.
Sorry, there's somehow another lost. Franz, get back on here, Francis. We're having problems with your QR code. Anyway, so so Franz will. Here's a comment about the book. By the way, there are some availabilities to it. The best way I can tell you to get the book, in case you wanted to get it, was to go. We're having all kind of gremlins tonight. Is to go to Spurrier's, Spurrier.com, and they'll have their friends back. We're getting back here. Sorry about that, pal.
That's all right. I think, as I was saying, I think just like Micah was last year's missing link, I think A.J. Brown is going to be this year's missing link. And more, Buddy, for what he can do for the Gators defensively. I know everybody talks about the shooting. I think the shooting will be fine when all is said and done. But where I think he's going to be the difference maker is he's that 6'4", 210-pound guard, a lot like Mr. Richard, who could play the big guys, who could play bigger than he was, but he really could handle those big physical guards on the wing. And I think that's what they need AJ to do. I don't think they've got if Tommy Hawk has to go play the high post, and they got to play him up there about a third of the game because he's so good up there.
Play anywhere, play all five positions.
Yeah, but they've got to play him up at that high post at least some of every game. And so that leaves your wing exposed if the other team's got a big physical guard. And last year with Walt, with Richard and Elijah, the Gators were so good and so physical defensively. They're good defensively this year, but they don't have that real physical guard presence. And I think that's what A.J. Brown can bring them.
All right, Franz, real quick, tell folks about the book. I know you got a series coming up on it. It is quite the book. I mean, you're seeing a lot of comments online about it because it details step by step the whole championship season. And if you wanted to be able to tell your grandkids about the Gators, this Gator team, we've been talking about it for a long, long time. I highly recommend you get it. There's several ways, but focus on the one and go to spurriers.com. And there's a link you can go to, and you can buy the book right there. He'll ship it to you, and it's a terrific book. I don't know. I know you haven't had a chance to start yours yet, Rob. And did you get one, Ben? Did you get a book?
I mean, my new book. I mean,
did you get one of Franz's books?
No, I'm still waiting to get mine. I'm still waiting to get mine. But I gotta say this because I got friends on. Super duper happy for you, friends. I can only imagine being the friend of Buddy Martin as long as you had. How long as Buddy said, "Are you gonna write you a book, friends?" Listen, buddy, I'm gonna write a book. Like I don't know what year he said it to you, but I can just see y'all headed somewhere saying, Buddy just saying, "Friends, you're gonna write a book." You're like, "Buddy, I'm gonna knock you out if you ask me about writing a book again." Well, write it, because can't be a friend of Buddy Martin and not have a book, man. You just can't. So congratulations, friends. I'm just happy at the fact that we get to troll all these other SEC schools because all they want to talk is football, right? That's all they really got.
We're a basketball school, guys. We're a basketball school.
I mean, the last time Georgia had a good basketball team, his name was Dominique Wilkins. Stop it. I don't want to hear
it. Georgia is 12-1 right now. They won tonight. They have the number 338 schedule out of 350.
Yeah, we lost you there, Franz. He stopped.
38 out of 359. That's pretty poor.
The Gremlins are out there tonight, Franz. They got us again.
Georgia will be here Tuesday night. The Gators go to Missouri Saturday. Missouri got blown out by 43 points by Illinois. They're not very good. Georgia's coming in, and they're 12-1. They'll be.
Well, you don't seem to be able to have any luck there tonight on the Gremlins. That was not my fault, by the way. Usually it is. I want to get back with you guys for a second on something. It's supposed to be a fun night. We deal with all the problems that we're dealing with. But I started out the show by saying, what have you done that nobody else has done? Now, I don't want you necessarily to respond to this right now, but let me give an example. Tonight, I want you to think about this. What have you done? I know Shane Matthews has played in an SEC championship game, and nobody else he knows has done that. I've got 3 things here, and I've done at least one or maybe more. I'm not going to give her the answer. I'm going to write about the answer ultimately in my column and on things that I may or may not have. You'd be surprised what you can find out about people. All right, now here you go. I want you all guys to listen and think about this, okay? Here are the 3 things I put down. What have I done nobody else has done? I could have done none of these or all 3 of these. But more than likely, I've done at least one, okay? So we have a time to reflect on all this stuff over the holidays because waiting on portal news. And no, I don't know the answer. Those people keep asking me. I do not know what is going to happen to Jaden Baugh. I wish I did. And I know Franz is out there, but he can't get the picture up. And so here it is. Here are 3 things I want you to think about and think if you're musing, like, okay, I wonder what buddy's done. What has he done? I've done a lot of stuff. Some of it funny, some of it's good, some of it useless. I might be able to get Franz to listen. We can't get his picture up. So we'll try to get Franz on. Franz, so we can't see you, so we're having problems. So listen up. Here's the deal. I'll mention these things. You're allowed to comment on them. I'm not going to answer. This is what have you done nobody else has done? Here's 3 things for me. All right, number 1. Have I been in the huddle on the sideline of a college football game? Number 1. Number 2, have I flown on the White House press corps plane with my high school pal Mike as a Pan Am pilot? Or have I been on Times Square to assist a star on camera in the New Year's ball drop? Sound pretty wild, guys?
Yeah.
I have to admit that's beyond me.
Yeah. I mean, buddy, with your travels, I would say probably all 3.
So tell me something that you think you've done nobody else has done.
Oh, I already know what I've done that nobody else has done. Nobody.
All right. What?
I was at the Nashville Ballet for 2 years in a row.
What?
Yeah. So when I was with the Titans my second year, Aaron Kinney, another former Gator tight end, got asked to be in the Nashville Ballet. We played the Colts and he hurt his knee. So we went out, me and Aaron Kinney had a show called Hang Tight with Aaron Kinney and being Troupe. Now we didn't host the show. We were just co-hosts. I shot to Brent, who used to host the show. And we sitting there eating after the show, and EK was like, "Hey, Troupe, we boys, right?" Like, "Yeah, man, you the homie, man. I'll do anything." And he was like, "I need you to do something for me." I was like, "Man, just name it." And he said, "I need you to be in the ballet for me." And I said, I'm like, "You joking?" He's like, No, I need you to be in it. It was the Nutcracker. And I said, "All right." But I was like, "But you know what? I ain't putting on no tights, man. I ain't wearing no tights." He says, No. You don't got to wear no tights, but you got to wear a dress. I'm like, "What?" And I cannot think of the singer right now. God, man, he's a country music singer. Beautiful wife. They both like God, I can't think his name. But I get to the show, and these people, these ballet dancers, they were incredible, man. And everybody wanted to see me. Like everybody, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. That's who it
Yeah,
was.
I'd say a pretty good name. There.
So I'm sitting, I'm sitting at this table, and they're doing my makeup, and Tim McGraw walks up. How you doing, Ben? I'm Tim McGraw. Like, man, I know y'all. This is my wife, Faith Hill. Like, hey, he was like, man, I'm a big fan of what I'm like. Yeah. And I'm like, mind you, the lady is just, she put makeup all on my face, lipstick on my lips, and I'm looking at Tim McGraw, and I say, man, I'm real young. I'm like 22. I say, I don't usually do this. And Tim McGraw says, listen, man, he says he was joking, but he said, hey, I don't judge. I don't. But he was joking with me, but it was great, man. I got to do it. I was only gonna do it 1 year, but they asked me to come back, and it was I put on this dress. It's like it's like a dress, and I climb up. It was crazy, but I didn't realize how big the Nashville Ballet was. I'm a football player. I don't know about no ballet. I'm a country boy. Come on, Rob. Come on, buddy. I don't know, but I got noticed by so many more people in Nashville because of it. And it was it's an experience. I mean, when it comes to football, man, I caught a touchdown pass from 2 number 3 overall picks. I caught a touchdown pass from Steve McNair, and I caught Vince Young's first touchdown pass as a starter. So my favorite football player of all time was Brian Dawkins of the Eagles, because he's from Jacksonville. He played. I caught a touchdown pass against him. So to me, I'm like, man,
yeah,
I done lived it. I got to meet John Madden, but the Nashville Ballet is on my resume, and people start. I started lying a little bit. Say, yeah, I did a little theater in college. I was lying. I ain't did no theater. I ain't do nothing like that. I had to improvise, but yeah, I mean, listen. I ain't been to the White House now. I ain't flown on no jets. Like, buddy, I ain't did nothing. No. And listen, if I'm at the White House, somebody done made a mistake. Like, I don't know how he got in. I don't know who this dude is. So but my mother-in-law used to work at the White House, and I asked her, do you think you could get me a clearance? And she said, absolutely not. No. So I'm not going to the White House. But yeah, I was in the Nashville Ballet. I was in there. There's a picture out there somewhere of me. I just got to find it.
Let me tell you, that's good. Let me tell you 2 things I did do. I actually had drinks with the press secretary of the White House during the Nixon administration up at the Catskills. And he invited me to come to the White House if you ever get there. And I found myself in Baltimore about 3 months later. Thought, I'll just pick up the phone and call him and see if I can get in the White House. This is a Saturday before the big game between the Colts and the Jets. The Colts and Colts Jets. He said, well, come on, grab a train, come on down. I'll take you on a tour. And so I got in the train station and got my ticket, sat there, and the train pulled out about maybe a block and stopped. And it broke down in the tunnel. And they have phones on the train, and I got on the paper. We didn't have cell phones. And I called the White House, and I said, hey, I'm stuck in a tunnel. He said, if you don't get here in an hour, I'm not going to be here. So I missed out on a chance. That's the Nixon White House, by the way. And then this guy became the news a lot later on. That was one thing I did do. And I'll tell you something else I did do. I pitched wearing a dress, Ben. I pitched in a baseball game, charity game for the women's club. My wife was a member, and I wrote the script for them, and it was against the old Red Sox stars, the old guys. I mean, the real old guys. Johnny Pesky, Bobby Doerr, Ted Williams, okay? And they were playing against the women, and they had a problem. They could not get a woman who could get the ball across the plate. So I put on a dress, okay? Put on a dress, and I went out of the mound, and I pitched to an inning, and I pitched to the great Ted Williams. You talk about a frightening sight, standing on the mound looking at number 9 at you, and I was so nervous. Ben, when I let the ball go, it slipped out of my hand. It kind of got up in here, little chin music, you know. He took that bat, sure it'll be like this. He said, Mr. Pitcher, watch out. The next one is coming through the mound, coming through on your shins. This is Ted Williams. He's telling me this. I'm going, yeah, big shot, you know, whatever. And of course, he tapped one to the right field and ran the bases. Anyway, back to you, Rob. It's your time. What have you done that we might not ever guess that you did?
Well, I can't say I've done a whole lot of wild things in my life. I can't say I've ever worn a dress, but you know, Ben, maybe every time I see you anymore, I might think of that dress every time I hear about you now. but I'm joking with that. I did play collegiate soccer. I played up at University of North Alabama. It was club soccer, so you didn't have to go to UNA to play. But we did play the reigning NCAA national championship champions in a soccer game, which was Alabama A&M at that time. And best I can say, it was really embarrassing because they were really good and stuff. But the other thing, buddy.
Well, here's something famous you did. This guy wants to I can buy your shirt. This is the second time we've had inquiries about how do they buy that shirt?
You know, this shirt was probably bought at the Gator shop there at the stadium, or the old what was the old store across University. I bought most of my clothes there.
Do a research on that shirt. People want to know.
It's about 20 Thanksgivings old and small.
Maybe we can find out some again where it is. So go ahead and finish up. We're going to wrap it up. If
I would say one other thing, and as far as I know, one thing I have done that no one else has done is I've been married to my wonderful wife longer than she's been married to anybody else.
There you go, Monica.
She celebrates that. She is a beautiful, great wife.
Yeah, she ought to get a Nobel Peace Prize for that.
Well, yeah, she needs
I know. Oh, see, okay, since Rob said that, listen, okay, yeah. So my mom and my wife have the same name. My mom name is Cheryl, and my wife name is Cheryl. So I'm in a Cheryl sandwich. So the first one, so the first one, so the woman that gave me life, name is Cheryl, and the woman that's gonna take my life, his name is Cheryl. I'm just playing. I am just playing.
There you go. Well, my wife, current wife, Dawn, grew up in Sylvester, Georgia, which is 25 minutes from where my mother grew up in Tifton, Georgia. How about it? So I have Georgia peaches. Hey, guys, listen, have a happy New Year. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm going to just wrap it up and say thanks
to have a blessed one, buddy. Ben.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back on the air again soon with our Panhandle show. We have to get our buddy Rob back, Rob too. Remind him again of what we do with that again, Rob.
What was that, buddy? I didn't hear you.
Remind folks about our Panhandle Gator Club show.
Hey, we love to talk about the Panhandle. And again, it is sponsored by the Panhandle Gator Club, but we like to talk sports of all schools, all colleges, whether it's FSU, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia. It doesn't matter, LSU. We love to talk sports, but at the same time, we also talk about happenings and people in the Panhandle. You know, for example, you know, Florida just signed a local pitcher, and he's I guess in the rotation early in the season as far as a weekday game. But we'd love to have other schools join us, talk to us, be on with us. So we want to talk to Panhandle and explain to everybody how great this Emerald Coast area is, from Pensacola all the way down to Port St. Joe and Apalachicola.
Yeah, for sure. And just so Ben knows, talks about being in the Central Time Zone, I want you to educate him a little bit about how he can be in both at the same time.
Well, Ben, down south of Panama City we're in Bay County, then we have Gulf County. Gulf County is the only county in the state of Florida that has two time zones. They're both in the Eastern and the Central Time Zone. It was because the shipping industry didn't want to lose some of their coast, so the time zone line goes all the way down to within 4 miles of Apalachicola, then it heads northwest and comes out at Mexico Beach. at that point is the county line between Bay and Gulf County. There is a chair that two people can sit on and be in two different time zones and looking at each other at the same time.
That's crazy.
It's in Mexico Beach.
So I mean, it ain't the same, but it's kind of like Texarkana. Like one side of the street is Texas, the other side is Arkansas, or something like that. I mean, even though it's the same. Hey, look. I'm just happy that we have the Panhandle Gator Club because it is needed. We got too much craziness going on. We got to bring some stability right there in Panama City, and I'm happy that you guys are doing it. Buddy's down there. Let's do it. Rhymes, I'm good. So now when BJ says the Panhandle, that's God's country, because he'll call it the 850. I go, no, I see why it's God's country now. I get it.
There you go. All right, fellas, I appreciate you very much.
Yes,
Love
sir.
you both. Happy holidays, and talk to you again. We'll get our show going again next week. Rob, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Y'all have a blessed and safe New Year's.
All right, folks, thanks again for your patience and tolerance. We apologize for our technical issues. Let me just remind you, drive safe out there. Have a great holiday. Remind you of Titan MRI and Imaging, one of our fine sponsors. They have 3 locations to serve you, 2 in Gainesville with Park Avenue, and now at the Millennium Center, and 1 in Lake City serving all of Columbia County and Valdosta. Titan MRI and Imaging offers same great customer service. They accept insurance. You can go through their convenient self-pay options. Titan MRI and Imaging offers MRIs, CAT scans, X-rays, ultrasounds, easy scheduling with lots of options, including evenings. They have those larger MRI machines for your patient comfort. Titan MRI coming your way soon to Ocala and neighborhood near you to serve Marion County better. Titan MRI, it's your choice. Thanks, Titan. Thanks to Meldon Law, and thanks to our guests again. Sorry for our technical issues tonight, folks, and it does happen. Thank you for your understanding. It's this is in this business, stuff happens for sure, but we do appreciate very much the fact that you tune in. Now we're going to be off the rest of the week. No more shows. We're going to take the holidays and cover the games and do all that like we have to do, and we'll come at you again here soon. I'm going to try to get down to this football stuff. There's a lot going on. It's hard to keep up. Have a great night, folks.